piece of legislation, I believe of yours that I took a look at was legislation regarding like lyrics and protecting people from being prosecuted for their art. Essentially, I can't sing at all, but if I could, I would like to think that I would make a heartbreak album. I'm pretty sure I would have some exaggeration, and it's art. You expressing how you feel and whatnot. And I think as Black people, our music is a key part of our culture, and sometimes there's some exaggerations and things like that. Have you planned on reintroducing that legislation?
Yeah, we'll be reintroducing the RAP Act, the Restoring Artistic Protections Act, uh, within about a month or so. And what that act would do would be to put some guardrails in place to prevent prosecutors from using creative content against a creator unless they can show certain factors to exist. And that those factors, among those factors being one, that the creator intended for what was written or what was on display creatively was meant to be true. The prosecution or the plaintiff in a civil case would have to prove that before it would become admissible in evidence against that person in a jury trial. And so we've seen instances where creators, but only rap creators and only Black rap creators, have been prosecuted for the content of their lyrics. And that's wrong. It's highly prejudicial, and it's quite effective in gaining convictions just based on inflammatory information that is injected into the case and heard by the jury. We just can't allow that to happen. And so that's why I filed the RAP Act in the Congress. But I will note for you, Kelton, that many states are starting to see the benefit of passing that same kind of legislation, because if you prosecute rappers, you can also use the law to prosecute country music artists, or you can use it to prosecute a film creator or someone who draws a picture. Anybody can be subject to it. It's just that it hadn't been used yet against anybody other than rap artists. But many states are starting to see the benefit of putting these guardrails in place to prevent creative content from being used against people in court. Georgia almost passed a law this time. It advanced pretty far in the process, but didn't make it to the finish line. Places like New York and California, well, California has passed a version of the RAP Act, and New York is looking at it, Louisiana and other places as well. So
yeah, this is a good example of how that there's laws being made other places and rules and regulations being made other places than DC that affects our lives. That legislation and these laws, literally there's a law probably about every aspect of our life. And I think that was a good point about the states.